We've been keeping an eye on all the upcoming horror releases, and in this video, we've compiled a list of the top 5 that you are sure to love. So get ready for a chilling lineup of movies that are set to hit the big screen soon. Number 1, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This movie is our top pick because it's bringing back the king of all vampires. That's right, Bram Stoker's legendary creation Dracula will once more haunt the silver screen this summer in The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The movie will take you back in time to chapter 7 of the book, where Dracula sets off on a journey to London aboard the Russian merchant ship Demeter. The chapter is a short, eerie collection of diary entries written by the captain, and it tells a freaky tale about the ship that's traveling to London with a secret cargo of 24 creepy wooden crates. As they journey, things start to get seriously scary. First, they spot a strange guy on board, then the crew starts disappearing one by one. A terrible storm hits the ship, and the first mate loses it and jumps overboard. The captain eventually figures out that some kind of supernatural monster is killing his crew. The last entry in his diary is especially spooky, as he's holding a rosary and tying himself to the mast to face the monster and the storm head-on. He leaves his diary in a bottle, hoping that someone will discover the truth behind the horrific events. When the ship finally docks, there's only one crazy guy left on board. The story focuses on different characters, like the ship's doctor, captain, first mate, and even a stowaway who is regretting sneaking onto the ship. But what no one realizes is that the cargo holds a dark secret. Dracula rests inside the mysterious wooden crates during the day. And as soon as night falls, the infamous vampire awakens, and his thirst for blood cannot be quenched. The crew is unaware of the danger they face, and it's only a matter of time before Dracula strikes. Universal Pictures has scheduled the release of The Last Voyage of the Demeter for August 11th, 2023. Number 2, The Pope's Exorcist. A historical horror thriller that puts a fresh twist on the classic storyline of demons versus priests. The movie is actually based on the real-life case files of a guy named Amorth, who was an exorcist and performed over 100,000 exorcisms in his lifetime. He passed away in 2016 at 91 years old, but not before he wrote 2 books about his experiences as an exorcist. An Exorcist Tells His Story, and An Exorcist, More Stories. And those are exactly what inspired The Pope's Exorcist. Amorth was known for being a colorful and controversial figure, who even thumbed his nose at the devil at the beginning of his exorcisms. And get this, he was actually appointed as an exorcist by the Pope himself. In fact, he was so influential that he even founded the International Association of Exorcists, which is a legit organization made up of hundreds of exorcists from all around the world. Apparently, the storyline will follow Amorth as he tries to help a young boy who's possessed by a demon. But as he digs deeper into the case, he ends up uncovering a huge conspiracy that the Vatican has been keeping hidden for centuries. It's definitely going to be a thrilling ride, and we're excited to see how the filmmakers handle such a complex and mysterious plot. Number 3, The Nun 2. The latest installment of the Conjuring universe is set to hit theaters soon. The question is, what's the demon Valak got in store for us this time? Created by a horror master, James Wan, The Nun 2 has been highly anticipated for 5 years since the release of the first film. Here's what the movie's all about. In a recent interview, Bonnie Aarons, the actress who plays the terrifying demon Valak in the Conjuring universe, expressed her hope that the upcoming movie will delve deeper into the character's backstory and explore more of the depth of the demon. This could potentially give us some clues about how the demon will be dealt with in future films featuring Ed and Lorraine Warren. In the first Nun movie, we saw how Maurice, also known as Frenchie, became possessed by the demon Valak at the end. Later on, at Ed and Lorraine Warren's seminars, the video of Maurice's exorcism was shown, which was also the one where Lorraine experienced the terrifying visions of Ed's death. With The Nun 2 on the horizon, fans are eagerly anticipating what part of Maurice's story will be explored in this upcoming film, and whether or not it will bring together the cast of The Conjuring and The Nun. It will be exciting to see how the story progresses and how it ties with the overall Conjuring universe. The official story description for The Nun 2 reveals that it takes place in 1956 in France, where a priest is murdered and an evil force is spreading. The film will follow Sister Irene as she confronts the demon Valak once again. It's unclear if the priest in the picture shared by James Wan is the same one who's murdered in the movie. Guess you'll have to wait and find out. The release date for The Nun 2 has been announced as September 8th, 2023. Number 4, The Conjuring 4. The Conjuring fans have been eagerly waiting for the fourth movie in the series, and it's finally happening. But here's the twist. It might be the last case for Ed and Lorraine Warren on the big screen. James Wan, the producer and director of the first two movies, recently revealed that work was underway on the fourth movie after it was officially confirmed in October 2022. But he also asked for fans' patience, emphasizing that the Conjuring franchise is very precious to them, and they want to take the time to make sure they get it right. While Wan didn't confirm that the fourth movie would be the last, he also didn't rule it out. He wants to make sure that they tell the Warrens' stories in a way that will move audiences emotionally and potentially wrap up their story. Wan will be back as the producer, alongside Peter Safran, while David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who wrote the second and third movies, will be writing the fourth movie. We're all excited to see what will happen to Ed and Lorraine Warren in their last big screen case. Although the plot of The Conjuring 4 has not been officially announced yet, there are speculations that the movie may delve into the infamous Amityville horror case, which is one of the most well-known cases of the Warrens. Other paranormal cases that could potentially be explored include the Snecketer House, the Smurl haunting, and the haunting of Union Cemetery. Director Michael Craves, who directed The Devil Who Made Me Do It, suggested that the fourth movie could portray the Warrens as public figures under scrutiny, working with the police departments and dealing with skeptics. He also stated that the third Conjuring film marks a unique ending for the series, which opens up new possibilities for the Warrens' future adventures. With so many adventures to explore, it remains to be seen what case the fourth installment of the series will focus on. Number 5, The Boogeyman. This upcoming movie, from 20th Century Studios, follows high school student Sadie Harper and her young sister Sawyer as they struggle to cope with the recent loss of their mother. Their father Will, who's a therapist, is also dealing with his own grief and is unable to provide the emotional support they need. One day, a distressed patient unexpectedly shows up at their house seeking help, and this triggers the arrival of a terrifying entity that feeds on the suffering of families. Here's how the original short story goes. There's this guy named Lester Billings who thinks the boogeyman is killing all 3 of his children. He's seeing a psychiatrist named Dr. Harper about it. Lester tells Dr. Harper each of his kids cried out boogeyman before they died, and that the closet doors in their rooms were always open, even though he swears he closed them. Despite their official causes of death being crib death and convulsion, Lester believes it was the boogeyman's doing. After the deaths of his first 2 children, Lester and his wife moved to another town. They have another child, Andy, and are extra careful to keep him safe. However, Lester's wife has to leave to help a sick family member, leaving Lester alone with Andy. In her absence, Lester feels the boogeyman's presence getting stronger and more aggressive, and he worries for his own safety and for Andy's. So he puts Andy in a separate room for the first time ever, knowing that the boogeyman will come after him. When he hears a commotion and goes to investigate, he discovers that the boogeyman is attacking his son. The police think the son just broke his neck trying to climb out of his crib, but Lester knows the truth. Later on, when he visits Dr. Harper, he realizes that the boogeyman is actually there disguised as the doctor. But in the film adaptation, the story is told from the perspective of 2 sisters who are trying to convince their grieving father that their house is infested with an evil entity after their mother's sudden death. That's a wrap for this video. Which movie are you eagerly awaiting? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.